Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're doing something a little different right now because the Raiders play at the time of this like 4 hours from now, first preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm sure you guys have been seeing this. Michael Mayer has been getting a ton of praise, a ton of great just press this entire, and I will play this one more time, but just take a look at this catch because it's an absolute piece of art. Yeah. You see it, one-handed. Anyways, Brock Bowers clearly on his way to becoming one of the best tight ends, and there he is right there. He's already, in my opinion, maybe the best tight end in the NFL. Maybe it's a little bit biased. This tight end room is loaded. I mean, it's absolutely littered and loaded with studs. And I saw this article from Just Blog Baby today. Sounds funny saying that out loud, but we'll go back to Michael here. I like drawing on this. Bang, look at this square. Great square. Here it is. Reporters are raving about Michael Mayer's performance at Raiders training camp. In a recent article by Ryan McFadden of ESPN, he named the biggest standout so far through the first 3 weeks of training camp for the Raiders was Michael Mayer. And we'll get into a quote, but let's get to, I got a few clips that we can look at Michael Mayer of. Personally, I was a very big fan. I'm a biased Notre Dame football fan, all right? I will admit. So I was absolutely huge on Michael Mayer, and his rookie season, just wasn't really doing the small stuff well. He still had almost 300 yards, a couple of touchdowns, whatever. I think he only played in like 13 or 14 games that season as well, but there were some issues with blocking, run blocking in particular, that just needed to be honed in. And last season, obviously, he dealt with, some like interesting mental health issues, right? So Brock Bowers thankfully was drafted to Las Vegas in the first round, so they didn't really need, a deep tight end room, I should say. And here's that quote from Ryan McFadden, because Michael was drafted in the second round just a few seasons ago. And here's that Ryan McFadden at ESPN quote. Since OTAs, Mayer has been among the offensive standouts. The former Notre Dame standout said this is the best he's felt mentally and emotionally, and that has translated to his play on the field. Although his numbers through the first 2 seasons have been underwhelming, offensive coordinator Chip Kelly has big plans for Mayer in 2025. Those plans have been noticeable during camp. So Chip Kelly is, Pete Carroll was a huge deal, and Geno Smith was a huge deal as well. But one of the things that the NFL media world has only recently been talking about is the addition of Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. This guy has been so good, whether it was his time coaching the Philadelphia Eagles, whether it was his time with Oregon. He knows what he is doing on offense, okay? And you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets this upcoming season, and Brock Bowers is truly just so unbelievably good. And I know some people have some concerns with this Raiders wide receiver room. I'm not in that list. I think Geno, Besh is a stud. I think Jacoby Myers, I think, is one of the best wide receiver number 2s in the entire National Football League. Genty makes a huge difference. I like a lot of these young kids like JPJ on the offensive line. But just hearing that about Michael Mayer, former second-round draft pick, has me absolutely amped up because, like I said at the beginning of this video, and like we all already kind of know, the Raiders have one of the best tight ends already in Brock Bowers, right? Now, this is just, you won't see it till the end of this clip here, but this is just another Michael Mayer thing. And we have Raiders' first preseason game, like I just mentioned at the beginning, in less than 5 hours, like 4 hours from the time of this recording. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on certain players. Michael Mayer is certainly towards the top of that list, whether or not he was even getting training camp hype, but especially that he's getting all this training camp hype. I will say probably number 2 comes on the defensive side of the things. I just made like a short video about Darian Porter. I think this kid is so intriguing, and we have yet to actually even talk about the Jacorian Bennett trade on this channel, so I'll get to that after this game, probably sometime next week. But, Christian Wilkins, that was a whole thing. I don't know, man. Stuff happens in the offseason, and I keep seeing so many, even Raiders fans, and I get it, it's a little bit of an inexperienced group, but I really value and trust Pete Carroll's defensive coaching abilities, specifically when it comes to the defensive back room. He compared it in our last video. We were saying he compared it to the Legion of Boom defense, and that's not something, I know he's like kind of a hyper, he's a kind of a hype guy. That's such an insane, absurd statement to say with no merit. So I really, we've been saying this. I get it. Maybe you want to kind of see it all before you believe it, because I'm saying, trust Michael Mayer, trust Darian Porter, trust Eric Stokes, trust all these kind of guys who, you're waiting to see it all come together. I'm excited about this preseason game because, like I said, this Raiders team is really intriguing, and I think they're going to be a good team. We'll get you with another video either late tonight or early tomorrow. So that's it for today. Keep an eye on Michael Mayer, and we will see you soon. Peace.